Mortgage rates dipped below the 6% mark for the 30-year fix, and the last time we saw that in Portland Metro, it energized our market and brought a lot of fence-sitting buyers back to the active market. We've had rates holding pretty steady at 6% for the previous couple of weeks with no major changes in buyer activity. Will a rate starting with the 5 fare a little bit better? Let's take a look at the latest stats and trends. Thank you so much for joining me for the latest in stats and trends in Portland Metro real estate. This is our exclusive sample of residential sales in the full Portland Metro area, including Southwest Washington. I hope you find the report informative, and I would love it if you would like this report or maybe even consider subscribing to the channel so that you see more reports like this in your feed. Now on with the show. The average sale price is up about 3% from the previous week, but more than that, it's up by a whopping 5.6% compared to last year at this time. In this graph, you can see the ups and downs that we can often see when we're dealing with a smaller set of numbers. So looking at the larger set of numbers, which would be the average sale prices so far for the month of August, we're looking at sale prices about 3.2% higher than last year at this time. Once again, the sales that we are looking at are for deals that went under contract about 30 days ago, plus or minus, when mortgage rates were more than a half a percentage point higher than they are right now. It'll still be about another week or so before we start seeing the results of the current lower rates. Supply was flat from the previous week. That means that there was no change in the number of homes that buyers have to choose from. The number of price reductions is on the decline, but still pretty high compared to last year at this time. It also looked like there were a lot of homes that were new to the for sale market this last week. However, a lot of those new listings could have been the result of big changes that were supposed to take place by August 17th, when we had some big adjustments in realtor rules and procedures. So some of those new listings could have been old listings that were terminated and then relisted with the new forms. I suspect that we'll see a big drop in new listings next week if that is correct. When we look at the demand numbers, keep in mind that our stats are for last week when mortgage rates were holding firm for the 30-year fixed at about 6%, best case scenario. It's not the rates that we're seeing this week. The number of purchase contracts agreed to by buyers and sellers decreased from the previous week. So on the surface, 6% still doesn't look low enough to pull fence sitting and affordability challenged buyers back into the open market. Mortgage rates dropped below 6% for the 30-year fix. That's the big news. And that's the best case scenario and the best rate I could find advertised. Most lenders are probably still pushing around 6.5%. For 3 days straight this week, one of the lenders I keep an eye on was promoting 5.875%. That's pretty much only the second time that we've had rates in this range in the last 12 months. However, the yield on the 10-year Treasury was back on the rise today, indicating that rates may float back up to 6% or maybe even a little bit higher by Friday morning. So what's around the corner for us right now? Well, the reason for the rates floating up on Thursday was that we're waiting for Chairman Powell's remarks at the end of the Fed's Jackson Hole meeting on Friday. The expectation is that his comments will lean towards cutting rates at the Fed's September meeting, but we'll have to wait and see. Regardless of what happens on Friday, positive or negative, expect a bit of a knee-jerk reaction from the markets, likely followed by some moderation. That's the pattern that we've been seeing so far this year. If I get any updates before I post this video on Friday, I will put that information right over here. This is definitely a chaotic market with lots of changes from week to week, so be sure to tune in here each and every Friday for the latest in Portland real estate stats and trends. I look forward to seeing you here.